video is about how to create rust effect. So this is a tank that I've been building, and first step is to spray the whole model with the brown or rust color that you want to have, and give a nice thick coat all the way around, and then leave it to dry. And once it's completely dry, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to be spraying it with water, and the water needs to be pretty much everywhere that you'd like to put the salt. So the salt, what it does is it sticks to that water that you had there. So I'm using large granules here, and that will create obviously large areas where the new paint won't be. And here's the other piece. This is the turret that I'm putting it on, and make sure you angle it. You can see how I'm trying to put it horizontal, and so that way it sticks. So if you want to have large areas of rust coming through, you use large chunks of salt. This is pool salt. And then also you can use for smaller areas, I use a combination of both small and large, and so I use just regular table salt, and that gives you much smaller areas of rust. So once that water is almost dry, I spray the final color, and so this is the green color that I'm spraying over it. Sometimes it blows away some of the salt, and that's okay. It's not a big deal. I always put in way more than I need, and the final color is sprayed on, and the salt will cover the rust. The rest of it will be exposed to the paint. So the other thing is that I like to do is to be able to add or spray it actually while it's still a little wet, and that helps to alter the color of the final green or final paint job, and it gives you a bit of a as you can see here, it's got some light and dark areas, some variations in color. Once it's all dry, make sure it's really dry, I just use a regular toothbrush to scrape off the extra paint, scrape off the extra salt, and that gets rid of the covering over the rust, and you can see the rust colors starting to come through. So sometimes it will take off little flecks of paint as well. It's not a big deal. It also adds to the patina. Just make sure that you are being very careful with little pieces that are sticking out of the model, so you don't rip them off with your toothbrush. But here you can see another example of how it is coming through once the salt is removed. Then you put your decals on, but obviously your decals are going to be nice and clean and perfect. So once I've done that, I then will actually paint on additional rust showing through, because otherwise it doesn't look like it's consistent with the rest of the model. So here you can see I am painting on rust with the same brown color, and it goes on top of the decals. Also make sure that you can add some rust that runs down, as you can see here, from things that protrude, like handles. And here's the finished product. I'll obviously seal it with some matte sealer, but here you can see the different areas of rust showing through.